Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I went to an estate sale and it had probably hundreds of dolls, and so I want to tell you guys about it. It was just kind of, this is going to be vlog style I guess, because I'm going to be telling you about stuff and showing you some footage. So my mom found it online. My mom is recently retired and she's been looking at estate sales, and most estate sales in our area start on Friday. Well, I have to work on Friday, but after looking at this one, I thought this one is worth taking half a day of PTO to go to this in the morning. So I took half a day of PTO. They said that it opened at 9, but that they would start handing out numbers at 8. So I told Mom, let's get there at 7:30. And I'm glad we did. We planned that. We left here at 6:30. It was about an hour from my house, and we got there and they were handing out numbers. They handed out numbers at 8, and we were number 26 and 27. So there were already a lot of people there. Now, the thing of primary interest, though, at this estate sale, this was a huge house on the lake. It had 3 condos and a marina. They're all part of the property, and the property is up for sale. I don't know how much it is, but it's got to be, you know, upwards of, it might be close to $20 million. I don't know. That might be an overestimate. It might be more like 5 or 6 million, but I feel like it's a multi-million-dollar property, right? And they were collectors, so they had loads of Legos. That's what most of the people were probably there for. The guy said that he had different people from all around the country calling him, asking if they would sell him the Legos and like to name his price. And he said no, you know, he was selling to the people that were there. Yeah, so anyway, I had seen all the dolls online, and there was one doll in particular that I really wanted. So I was like, let's go, and I was really hoping I was going to get her. I did get her, so I'm going to show her to you right now. I got Stormer, mint in box, and she's from the Misfits, and I was really excited to get her because that was the reason that I took the half day off work, because I was like, I want this doll. So predictably with me, when I do a really fun doll activity, I can get a little, fixated, obsessed, whatever you want to call it, with a particular thing. And so yeah, I really want all the gym dolls now. So I've been kind of watching on eBay, and there was a big collection of everything that went up for sale, and the bids ended at like $3 grand. And I was watching it, but I'm like, you know what? It would be a lot more fun for me to kind of try to track these all down individually and try to get them at good prices. And I don't mind, dolls that have been played with. And so I've actually bought a few really inexpensive ones on eBay that I'm, working on fixing up and stuff. But anyway, I just love the box artwork too. I was really, really excited to get her. 2 other people wanted her, so at least 2 other people. Because when I got her in my hands, I told the lady that was in the room, I said, this is why I got up this morning and came here. And she said, another lady that was just in here had her in her hands and put her down. And when she saw you pick her up, she went, like she was sad. She put her back down. And another guy came running in there, and he was like, oh, you got her. How much was she? And I told him, so she was $140, which is a lot more than like I hoped she would be. You can see you can't see it because the camera, there we go. It was a lot more than I hoped she would be, but on eBay she goes for $200 and more, so I thought this is still a savings for me. My budget like for the whole day was $200, so she ate up most of my budget, because she was priced pretty high, and a lot of their stuff was priced like eBay sort of prices, so I'll just leave that out there. But this is what I wanted. I was really happy to get her, and I'm okay with the $140 price tag, because like I said, if I got her on eBay, it would have been at least $200, if not more. But anyway, so the guy who said that, I told him, I said, look, man, I said, I'm a collector. I bought her for me. He's like, yeah, I was just going to resell her. So, and it's kind of like, there were a lot of resellers at this estate sale. So the way estate sales here work, where in my area, somebody was asking me this. They are usually Friday, Saturday, Sunday, And usually they have companies come in and do it, and they'll go through, tag everything, and each one has different rules. This is the biggest one I've ever been to. I've never been to one that had this many frantic people. And I think it was because they had some really expensive glassware. They had all the Lego sets. I was the one that was frantic for the dolls, but there were other people there too. But there were a lot of resellers there. There was a couple beside me that were like checking every doll on their phone, and I was kind of like, but you know, anyway, it was a little annoying, but at the same time, like, I can't be mad at the hustle, like, you know. And the estate sale people, they know that's what, you know, they're going to sell it at a price that's cheap enough for a reseller to make a little bit of money, but, you know, at a high enough price that they're also going to make money, and they're not getting, but they like can move it fast. That's kind of the idea. But by Sunday, what they'll do is they'll cut prices. So prices will be lower on Sunday. So I may go back Sunday. Haven't made up my mind about that. But anyway, I'm going to show you guys what else I got too. So I got, this is Courtney's Strawberry Shortcake sleeping bag. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, I might already have this. But I can't remember. I can't remember if I already have it. So I went ahead and bought it for $5, because it was only $5. So I was like, for $5, I'm going to get it. They had a lot of American Girl stuff, which I didn't get footage of. All the American Girl dolls were about $60 each, which for me is a little bit high, because on Facebook Marketplace here locally, you can usually find, sorry, I kicked the camera. You can usually find American Girls for around $40. So I thought the $60 price tag was high on those, so I kind of passed by them. And they were all like the newer Mattel dolls. They didn't have any Pleasant Company stuff. Everything was Mattel stuff. But I also got these two American Girl babies. Now they were only $3 each. So I don't know if they didn't realize they were American Girl. I think they did, because when I looked at the pictures, went back and looked at the pictures online, they were with the American Girl stuff, but they were only $3. So I grabbed both of them because I really wanted them. And also, I kind of want to make a Baby Polly at some point. If you guys know who Baby Polly is, she's Felicity's little baby sister. This cat, he's crazy. But anyway, so I could use one of them for that. I already have this one, but I could use her as like a Baby Polly if I wanted to do that. But anyway, I thought those were good prices for the dolls, so I grabbed them. The other two things I grabbed is I got these vintage Barbie fashions. They were $15 each, and I don't know if that's actually a high price or not, but like a mint in box Barbie fashion, I just like this vintage. I couldn't pass it up because I love like the packaging and everything that it comes with. Like this vintage style is just, and like it says fit for Christy, PJ, Tracy, like the older, you know, Barbie dolls, and it says Mattel 1983. So I think these are from 1983. So I got this one, and then I also got this one called Heavenly Holidays, which they're not my favorite fashions I've ever seen, but I thought they were really cool, and they were only $15, and I had $200 budget, okay? But so those are the things I actually bought, but I want to I did take some video inside, so you guys could see what else was there. So I'm going to show you that now and talk you through it. So the first room I went into was the gym room, and they had all these vintage 80s Barbies, and I really loved them, but they were like $30, $45, $95 for one of them, and that was just more than I wanted to spend. And then they had these were West German dolls. I'm not actually sure what they were. Like that doll, the Loving Heart Barbie, she was $95. She's really pretty and I love her, but that was more than I want to spend. Lindsay doll, some F&B dolls, and then these Cabbage Patch were $220, which I thought was really high. And then there was a little pile of my friend Mandy dolls and Healthy Roots and some Madame Alexanders. Then after that, they had, I think these were French dolls, and then I really wanted this Twirly Curls Barbie. I really wanted her, but she was $60, and that was going to blow my budget. And this is where I had picked up the outfits. These dolls, oh gosh, I can't remember what they were called. I can't remember, but they were really interesting looking. Lim and Ada. I really wanted this Lily Fair doll too, but she was $60, so I didn't get her either. And then lots and lots of Madame Alexander. Then more Madame Alexander, and there were these Sasha dolls. Now I was really interested in them at first, but they were pretty pricey. They were ranged from, there was one that was $160 that I really wanted, but I decided not to get her. It's actually this one that I wanted. I wanted her, but she was $160, so I passed. More Madame Alexander. This lady had a lot of Madame Alexander dolls, like, and you'll see that throughout. And I'm not a Madame Alexander expert. And then you had all these F&B dolls here. There's the Zodiac bears. There's more of that doll I can't remember the name of. I looked at them. Calico Kids, I think is what they're called. Now, talking Madame Alexander, there was a room that was like a hidden bookcase room. Like a bookcase was pulled back, and we went into this little closet room, and it was just shelves and shelves of Madame Alexander dolls. And yeah, there was a couple in there beside me, like looking up the prices of all of them, and they ended up grabbing a couple of dolls out of this room. But there's only one Madame Alexander doll I'm really looking for, which is the Small World. I think it's a Small World version of a Madame Alexander. I think it's a Wendy, and I'd like to have her, but yeah, they didn't have her there. Also in the closet was this Isabella doll and a Marilyn Monroe doll. And then out in the main area, they had the First Ladies of Madame Alexander. Madame Alexander did a line of First Ladies, and they had those there. Overall, it was a really fun experience for me, and I got the doll that I wanted. Like, I had hoped she'd be less money, but she was still less than like an eBay, like an online secondary price, so I was happy to get her. And I was texting my friend Diana, and she said, she looks NRFB, and I'm like, she's gonna be RFB in short order. So I am gonna carefully open her to put her on display. So she is going to come out of the box and go on display at some point, but not right away. I'm going to kind of enjoy her. Like, she's my little prize for now, so I'm going to kind of enjoy her in the box for the time being. But I really enjoyed it. It made me think a lot about, like, you know, if I, like, because my moms were just retired, and it's like, oh man, if I were retired, I could do this every Friday. But, you know, you're not going to find a estate sale that has that many dolls every Friday. But it was still fun. Like, like I said, the Barbies, I really would have liked to have had several of those, but you know, at $20 a piece, I would have bought them all. No thought to it. But they checked the prices of everything, and they even said on the sale, this is not a yard sale. This is not a thrift store or something like that. They said their items are priced accordingly. They're nice items, and they were, but still not quite as high as eBay prices. But man, the resellers that were in there, they were acting up, man. They were just like, they were so frantic. And I get it, these people, that's clearly their day job. And I get it. When I was a teacher, I used to resell a lot. I had to, because I just didn't make enough money to like support myself that way. And I'll resell stuff from time to time, like if I have something that I want to move on. But I don't actively resell anymore because I don't need to. So it's just kind of interesting to see how frantic the resellers were in there. And I mean, this was huge. They let 60 people in at one time, and it was nuts. There were people in there running. It was just crazy, but it was really cool. Like, I'm really glad I did it. And afterwards, me and Mom went and had lunch at Cracker Barrel, because I am trying so hard to not eat too many carbs, because I have gained a lot of weight in the last 2 years, and you guys have probably seen it. Like, as you watch my YouTube videos, my head's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and it hasn't helped that I've been so sick for so long and been on a lot of medications. And so I'm trying just to, instead of counting calories, I've done, Weight Watchers before and stuff. I'm just trying to cut out like the sugars and super refined carbs and stuff like that. And Cracker Barrel has really good grilled chicken tenders and green beans, and I had a side salad with ranch, so it was just good, like a nice iced unsweet tea. So we had a good lunch, and yeah, it was a really nice morning for me. I had to come back here and work, so I'm filming this after my work day is finished, but you know, I just wanted to tell you guys about it because I had a great time. And look out for estate sales in your neck of the woods, because you never know what you're going to find. It was, you know, they put these pictures up ahead of time. My mom actually told me, she said, there's an estate sale in Denver, Alice, in Denver, North Carolina, and they have at least one gem doll. And I went and looked, and it's Stormer, and I'm like, oh yeah, we got to go to this. I got to take half day off work. So that's what we did. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about it, what they're like, leave them for me in a comment below, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. I want to say a huge thank you to my patrons from Patreon: Lindsay S., Leah W., Doreen Z., Janice H., Mercedes W., Bear Sunflower, Shorna R., Stephanie W., Shalane C., Louisa's Knickknacks, Marty G., Lynn P., Cindy L., Sabrina A., Kitten Cat, Diane B., and Debbie N. Thank you so much for your support. Your support helps me continue bringing you great dolly content. For more information on how you can become a supporter of this channel, please see the description in the video below. Thank you.